Alright, so here's the Kanger T2 loaded with the Mount Baker Vapor 555. It's been sitting for a bit. Now, before we get started with that, the first run of that, here's the standard resistance ish coil that I removed so that I could replace it with one of the 1.8 ohm ones, because it's just going to rock harder on my regulated Ego battery. I like to run it regulated because you know, it gives me indicators of charge level. Let's take a look at this. Look how far the wicks go down. So they go down to, oh, what is up with that? They don't go down at all. They like go down like a quarter of an inch maybe in there, which means that as you're using this thing, the level's going to go down and down gradually over the course of the day, and then your wicks aren't going to even be touching it. So basically you will have to tilt this thing a little horizontal, gradually more and more horizontal, until you actually are tilting it horizontally and turning it to get it to get onto the wicks. But you know, kind of a small thing, easier than rolling your own cigarettes, that's for sure. So eager to give this a try. See, heard a lot of good things about the quality on this, so let's proceed, shall we? First run here, Kanger T2, 1.8 ohms at 3.2 volts. Yeah, I really taste the flavor of that e-liquid. A little harsh in the throat at first. I'm sure that's gonna go away. I've seen that in other videos too, like first run of the T2, and it's a little harsh in the throat. But you got a fresh wick in there that's, you know. You probably can't tell all that well, but the vapor is not bad at all. Vapor production. I'm going to go ahead and turn the regulated voltage off, and we might be getting closer to around 3.7 volts now. Unregulated. A little bit more buttery flavor out of that caramely 555. I'll show you how much vapor this is actually producing here. Quick burst. Really not too bad. Draws a little loose. We'll see how this plays out. I imagine after a little bit of use, you'll probably be getting more vapor out of there. The draw is probably going to thicken a bit as this thing gets used, and, you know, naturally starts to kind of get a little tighter as far as airflow, until it eventually clogs, and you gotta either clean it or replace the head. Other than a little rough on the throat from the fresh wick, working really well so far. Oh, there goes the vapor with the unregulated. Woo! Haven't had this much nicotine in a while. Feels good. It's so good. So good. Like Gary Oldman. Anyways, this is a Gary Oldman thing been running through my head. Michael Keaton. I like it. Yeah. Michael Keaton. That one's for special occasions only, folks. Fantastic price on these replaceable coil Clearomizers. Works fantastically so far. Probably never going to go back to cartomizers if I can help it. That's another thing I'd like to point out. I mean, cartomizers? Seriously? All you gotta do with these things is just fill them up with juice, and that's it. Just fill them up. Ideally, the wick grabs the juice, and that's it. No obsessively topping off, no flooding until you get to the point where the coil starts to need replacing. In theory, should never have a problem. And some people swear that these things were nothing but a really crappy invention because supposedly they leak. Tanks leaking. Seriously, leaking tanks? I know they will eventually flood, but that's just because you need to replace your head, I assume. Seriously, I'm like giving this a long dramatic pause for a reason, because I mean, are these tanks really gonna leak? It's like saying that your tank of water that you bought from a company, your water tank is gonna leak in normal operative timelines. You know what I mean? So, totally think that this is the preferable thing to a cartomizer, which is nothing but constant hassle and trouble. Seriously, it's like those things were made to just flood all the time, burn within a couple of days. Seriously, no cartomizers ever. Okay, that's all. Now, Baker Vapor. For very interesting, and great deals. And then Baker does sell stuff that will clog your cartomizers, especially. And after a couple of days, these things too. You can clean them, replace them, replace the coils. Works pretty well. But watch out for the dark. Read the reviews on there. People saying that it kills their cartos or their clearos. Probably does. So.